Emotional detachment. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but mastering them. Imagine a life where anxiety doesn't cripple you, where disappointments don't derail you. The ancient Stoics really understood this. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Understand this, and you will find strength." Emotional detachment is about developing a healthy relationship with our emotions. Imagine a captain navigating a ship through a stormy sea. We remain anchored in a place of inner calm. Suppressing our emotions is like holding a beach ball underwater. Detachment is letting the ball float. We create space for thoughtful responses. Emotional detachment is all about changing your perspective. We have the power to choose how we respond. This change is the key to emotional freedom and resilience. The circle of control. Focusing on what we control, putting our energy into our own reactions and growth. This change is key for emotional detachment. Acceptance is about seeing what's real without pushing back. It's about picking your battles wisely. Acceptance is a powerful act of bravery. Often it's our judgments about events that create the turmoil. Emotional detachment means observing your thoughts without getting carried away. Question your judgments to respond with clarity and composure. Stoic principles give us a roadmap to being strong. Feel your emotions without being controlled by them. True freedom comes from mastering our own minds. Observing without judgment is key. Imagine your mind is like the sky and your thoughts are like clouds drifting by. Come to this practice with curiosity, not judgment. A thoughtful pause creates space between what happens and how you react. Take a deep breath, observe without judgment. This practice allows for thoughtful and purposeful responses. Part 3. The perspective exercise, expanding our view, transcending the ego. Our problems often seem huge, clouding our vision. The Stoics understood the power of perspective, the ability to step back. The perspective exercise invites us to step outside of our self-importance. Imagine a setback that seems impossible to overcome, a job loss, a breakup. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year, 5 years, 10 years? How would someone I admire see this situation? What's the worst that could happen? Could I handle it? Is there anything positive I can take from this experience? These questions change our perspective, helping us see our challenges in a bigger picture. They remind us that our current struggles are often temporary. They help us draw on the wisdom of those who have faced hardship before us. They encourage us to face our fears, to recognize that even the worst-case scenario is often manageable, and they invite us to look for the positive aspects, the lessons, and the opportunities for growth that often come with the most difficult experiences. This practice doesn't lessen the reality of our struggles. It simply helps us see them from a less self-centered, more objective viewpoint, allowing us to approach them with more clarity, courage, and resilience. Part 4. Premeditatio malum, embracing adversity as a teacher. While most of us try to avoid discomfort, the Stoics embraced a counterintuitive practice, Premeditatio malum, or the premeditation of evils. This wasn't about dwelling on negativity or expecting the worst. It was about mentally preparing for potential challenges, stripping them of their power to shock and destabilize us. Imagine a soldier preparing for battle. He doesn't wait until he's on the battlefield to consider the dangers he might face. He trains rigorously, he develops strategies, he mentally prepares for the possibility of being injured or defeated. Similarly, Premeditatio malum encourages us to mentally rehearse the inevitable challenges that life throws our way. We can ask ourselves, what could go wrong today? How would I react if I lost my job, if my flight was canceled, if a loved one got sick? By mentally preparing for these possibilities, we're not inviting negativity into our lives. We're simply acknowledging the reality that challenges are an integral part of the human experience, and we're equipping ourselves with the mental resilience to face them with courage and grace when they inevitably arise. This practice doesn't make us immune to adversity, but it lessens its power to upset us. It allows us to face challenges with a sense of preparedness, knowing that we've already considered the possibilities and formulated potential responses. Premeditatio malum, in essence, is about transforming our relationship with adversity, from one of fear and avoidance to one of acceptance and even gratitude. It's about recognizing that challenges, though often unwanted, are opportunities for growth, resilience, and the development of wisdom. Imagine a strong oak tree standing tall in the middle of a raging storm. Its branches might sway, its leaves might rustle, but its roots stay firmly planted in the ground, unmoved by the wind and rain. That's the kind of inner stability that emotional detachment builds. It's not about becoming unfeeling, but about developing a sense of inner peace that isn't at the mercy of outside events. Life, as we know, is full of ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of joy and times of sadness. When we're too attached to outcomes, when our happiness depends on outside approval or achieving specific goals, we become vulnerable to the whims of fate. We ride the roller coaster of emotional highs and lows, our inner peace dependent on things outside our control. Emotional detachment, however, lets us step off that roller coaster and stand on solid ground. We learn to find contentment not in the temporary nature of outside events, but in building inner resilience, acceptance, and a deep understanding of how everything is always changing. We start to experience a sense of peace that doesn't depend on the world around us, a peace that comes from within, from a place of deep self-awareness and emotional control. This inner stability isn't about denying or suppressing our emotions. It's about recognizing that our emotions, while valid and important messengers, don't have to control us. We can feel them fully, acknowledge their presence, and yet choose not to be ruled by their intensity. When we're ruled by our emotions, our decision-making is often clouded by fear, anxiety, or the desire for instant gratification. We might make impulsive choices that we later regret, choices driven by a need to avoid discomfort or seek external validation, rather than what truly aligns with our values and long-term goals. Emotional detachment, however, provides the clarity and objectivity needed to make informed decisions, even in challenging situations. By creating space between our emotions and our responses, we can weigh our options more carefully, considering the potential consequences of our actions from a more rational and wiser perspective. This doesn't mean we become cold and calculating, devoid of empathy or compassion. It simply means we're able to access our higher reasoning abilities, making choices that are in our best interest rather than being swayed by the whims of our emotional state. This increased clarity also extends to our relationships. When we're overly attached to the approval or validation of others, we can find ourselves trapped in unhealthy dynamics, wanting to please at all costs or compromising our own needs to maintain a sense of harmony. Emotional detachment allows us to approach our relationships with greater self-awareness and authenticity. We learn to set healthy boundaries, communicate our needs effectively, and cultivate mutually enriching and respectful relationships, even if they don't always meet our expectations or desires. This doesn't mean we become distant or reserved in our relationships. It simply means we interact with others with greater emotional stability and assurance, able to give and receive love without compromising our own well-being or sense of self. Emotional detachment requires constant practice. It's not a destination, but a journey of learning and cultivating habits. Imagine you are tending a garden. Our minds require constant care to cultivate emotional resilience. Here are a few simple practices to incorporate into your daily life: reflective journaling, Stoic meditation, morning and evening rituals. Consistency is key. These practices will help you cultivate inner peace and emotional resilience. To wrap up our exploration of emotional detachment through the lens of Stoicism, let's remember this. The path to emotional mastery isn't about becoming a robot, unfeeling and untouched by the world's joys and sorrows. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Life, just like the weather, is unpredictable. There will be storms, there will be sunshine, and there will be those days when the sky seems content with a gentle drizzle. We can't control the weather, even if we try. We can't force the storms to disappear or the sun to shine brighter. What we can control, however, is how we choose to dance in these conditions. Emotional detachment, as we've discovered, isn't about denying our emotions or suppressing our reactions to life's events. It's about cultivating an inner resilience, a space of calm amidst the chaos, where we can experience the full range of human emotions without being swept away by their currents. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca: "All the future is uncertain, live immediately." We don't need to wait for the storms to pass to find joy, peace, or contentment. We can choose to dance through them, embracing the present moment with open arms, with a resilient spirit, and the wisdom to know that even the darkest clouds eventually give way to the sun. This is the essence of the Stoic journey, embracing life's uncertainties, navigating its challenges with courage and grace, and finding joy in simply being fully present, rain or shine. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your own experiences with emotional detachment in the comments below.